What up, everybody? I'm just going this weekend in case anybody wants to join. All right, we are good to go. Shaman RTP, Skull Gang in the building. You already know what time it is. We're here. Victory Tuesday. Bucks win playoff game against the Eagles, and wanted to do a roundtable for any other Bucks fans that want to come on here and talk that talk or whatever they want to talk about, and talk about some things that I've been hearing in the media. Um, there are a few things that I've been hearing in the media. Uh, a lot of taking away what the Bucks did and putting it on the. First of all, there's a lot of haters out there. A lot of you guys saw it when I was live last night. People talking about, oh, you got lucky. You had to face the Eagles. You had to face the worst team and da 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 and all this crap. So there's been a lot of that type of hating, I guess. Um, there's been talks about the Eagles playing bad and not enough talk about the Bucks playing good. Um, I think for one, when I went live yesterday morning, I talked about and I broke down the different units, right? Our O line going against their D line. I had said already that I believe our O line, the first time we played them, actually played pretty good. In fact, that was the first game where me and a couple of Buck fans sat back and said, you know what? Our O line might actually be kind of good. Obviously, talking about pass protection, because we do respect that D line that the Eagles have. And the first time we played the Eagles, when we were in the fourth quarter and we had no choice but to step back and just pass the ball, and the Eagles knew that we had no choice but to step back and just pass the ball and could just pin their ears back and rush our quarterback. Our O-line actually held up pretty good against them. So we knew that our O-line was going to do pretty good against that D-line already as far as pass protection. Now, I also said I wasn't sure as far as running the ball. Now, we have been better running the ball, and I felt like there could be a good chance that we can actually run the ball better than we ran the ball against them last time, because we've gotten better at it. And that turned out to be right. We were able to actually give ourselves a little run game against the Eagles. So that was good. A lot of people are trying to act like the Eagles basically gave us the win, which is not true. For one, we took it. That's for one. We took it. The one thing I would say is the Eagles needed to do better at tackling. That is definitely true. We caught a break with that the Eagles wasn't tackling good yesterday. But it really doesn't matter. Let's be honest. It really doesn't matter. because whether they tackled us as soon as we caught the ball, we were still going to go down the field. Um, our guys were running open all game. They were running open down the field, the middle of the field, underneath. We were running. Our guys were running open everywhere. Um, and it wasn't just this time. The last time we played the Eagles, we were running everywhere. Again, if we have to recap what happened the first time we played the Eagles, the problem was Dave Canellis was trying to run the ball too much, and we weren't able to run the ball at all, and it was putting us in a lot of third and longs. And because of being in third and long, and also because we were running the ball so much, we never really got Baker in rhythm. So when we would sit there and say, okay, Baker, we need you to get us the first down, he really had no confidence in his arm, no confidence in or any type of rhythm, and it would look ugly. So even though, if you remember, I gave Baker and Dave Canellis, a lot of blame for that Eagles game. But Dave Canellis definitely could have did better with giving Baker some easier throws and getting him in rhythm and not running it so much, not just because the fact that we couldn't run the ball, but the fact that you can see that we're taking the ball out of Baker's hands, which is not a terrible idea, but then we ask him to bail us out while his arm is still cold because he's really not throwing the ball. And that's just a terrible game plan. And that was the main reason why we lost against the Eagles. So our O-line, we knew the pass rush wouldn't get there to Baker that much. And they were trying. There was a couple of plays here and there where the Eagles pass rush would get there, not enough to mess up the game, not enough to just not enough. Again, there was a few plays here and there where the pass rush got there real fast. And I called it while I was watching live. I saw it and I say, yeah, there's nothing Baker could do there. That they beat our guys and they just got there too fast. There's nothing Baker could do. It's not his fault. But can't even say if the play was a good play or a bad play because play didn't even have time to develop, So there was times, but we knew that most of the time, if Baker dropped back to pass the ball, he was going to have time in the pocket because our O-line, since the first Eagles game, we started believing in our O-line, and they've proven us right ever since. And we've had faith in our O-line. Like I said, this is literally the best O-line that we've had, even in the Super Bowl year. This was the best O-line, especially when you talk about pass protection, from both of our tackles to everything. Everything. This is the best our O-line has been as a unit. So we had, or at least I had confidence in that part. Now running the ball, I don't know how confident I was, but I did feel like there is a chance. We do have a chance because we have gotten better running the ball. This is not the same team that they went against the first time when we were trying to run the ball, and our tight ends and our offensive linemen and even our running backs didn't know how to use the running schemes that we were doing. It wasn't the same team. We figured it out. We've gotten a lot better at learning how to run that ball with that scheme. So I felt like there was a chance that we could have a better run game. And we did. We had a better run game. Definitely good enough to keep the defense unbalanced. And not only that, but to keep the D-line honest. They weren't able to just pin their ears back and just go, because they did it a few times, and the few times that they did it when we ran the ball, we got some chunk yards off of it. And it forced them to be like, okay, we got to be more conservative. We got to be a little bit more, honest and make sure they're not going to run the ball. So that was good. Surprisingly, our weapons was the worst part of the game. Like, surprisingly, that's how like we played a good game, because Mike Evans had drops, big drops. Well, they weren't big drops, but I mean there were drops when I mean there weren't big drops, I mean like it wasn't like, man, we could have, it messed up the game. That's what I mean by they weren't big drops. Like they were big drops as far as that could have been a touchdown, but we ended up getting a touchdown anyway, so it didn't really mess up the game. But yeah, Mike Evans had a lot of drops. Kadon had a lot of drops. It was very uncharacteristic of our weapons. Again, they were running wide open all day, just like in the first game. But we did have a lot of drops, and I even said it. I'm like, we're kind of hoeing Baker right now. Baker's actually doing his thing, and we're dropping the ball. Like we gotta stop, you know. And I did say I felt like Baker's throwing the ball too hard. Like maybe he's too amped up, or he's just scared to get picked off that he just wants to throw the ball in there fast. You know, scared that it might get picked off or something. But even though it was too hard, you know, your job is to catch the ball. You got to catch the ball. That's your job. So that was literally the worst part of our game was our weapons dropping the ball, which was, you know, hey, you know, that sucks. Hopefully that don't happen again. But yeah, so running backs did good, you know. Chase Edmonds dropped the ball. I think Rashad White dropped the ball as well. So yeah, but everything else was good. Defensively, I mean, geez, Louise. Once again, if you guys want, the link is in. I put the link in the comment section on Facebook, on Twitter, YouTube. All the link to get in here is in the comment section. If you guys want to jump in here and give your takes or talk about whatever you want to talk about, just click on the link and come on in here. You don't have to have the camera. I advise not to have the camera on. That way, you know, the internet stays good. But yeah, the defense came out and and I will say this. I was happy to see what we saw from the defense because it confirmed exactly what I've been saying all year. And I was hoping it would confirm what I was saying all year, which was we could tell that Jamel Dean looked like he didn't care out there all season. We could tell Carlton Davis, even though I felt like Carlton Davis, after a while, you know, when we went on that skid because the offense, you know, Baker wasn't doing too good and the offense was just not producing. And it just felt like Carlton Davis kind of like, whatever. Like he kind of, I don't want to say give up, but he kind of just like didn't care, you know. And both our starting corners, you know, we had trouble with them, with Jamel and Carlton. And it just looked like both of them was just not even trying, you know. Carlton was messing up on basic plays that we've done since the beginning of time and plays that we've executed so easily. You know what I'm saying? Carlton, you can say Carlton might be single-handedly the reason why we lost the Texans game, you know? And it was off of simple things that we've done many, many times. So, yeah, I mean, all year it felt like, man, why did we pay these guys? And I just felt like I just feel like they don't have no motivation. Like, Jamel Dean seemed like he was calling in from work, like he was getting hurt, but he really wasn't hurt. You know what I'm saying? I felt like he was just calling in from work. I felt like Carlton and Jamel, like, they like, oh, well, Zion, you know, Zion got it. Like, we could take a week off. Zion got it. He's a starting corner. He got it. And they would just take turns. All right, you take this week off, and then next week I'll act like I'm hurt, and you come back, and then, like, that's what it felt like. So when this playoff game started, I was wondering, like, are we going to continue to get those guys? Because there's no excuse now. Now, if it's true that they were bored or they just felt like, man, we don't got no reason to play, like our offense is not doing nothing, you know, and we don't even look like we're going to win the division. Well, now we're in the playoffs. Now there's no reason to slack off or no reason to not have no motivation. So let me see how they played. And right away, Jamel Dean looked like he was back to his regular form. He looked like he had that quick twitch again, that speed. Like Carlton Davis looked like he was back to his regular form. So if we're honest, that's not a good thing. That I honestly feel like they took the season off because they're just kind of like, you know, whatever. Like, it's just the regular season. Wait till we get into the playoffs, because you want to have that mindset throughout the whole season. But at least we know it was confirmed. Um, they started playing at a high level, a very high level. Also, uh, I want to say we got to give Todd Bowles credit for a lot of stuff, but I'll say that because there's a lot. There is a lot to talk about when you're talking about Todd Bowles. There is a lot that has to be said about Todd Bowles. Um, but let's get to where do I want to go with it? Let's go to okay. So let me backtrack real quick. The the Eagles defense, right? There is nothing that you can say about the Eagles defense that makes me believe that they gave us the game or they wasn't trying. Their D line was definitely trying, right? Their secondary was definitely trying. Now again, the Eagles secondary definitely sold when you talk about tackling. I will give you that. When you talk about tackling, you can say, yeah, you got lucky. They didn't want it. They didn't want to tackle. Like yeah, or they were bad tacklers. That was definitely true. But even if their season was going great or whatever, like it was in the beginning of the year, our weapons were still getting open the first time we played them. Our O line was still blocking them the first time we played them. The only difference between the first time we played them and yesterday was we were able to run the ball a little bit and they didn't tackle as well. That is the only difference from that we got from the Eagles defense. Um, Now let's go to our defense and their offense. Our D line, and I have been worried about it, and I'm still worried about it. We're not there yet. Let me continue to say that we're not there yet. But I said it during the live. Our defense grew up before our eyes, and I was proud. I was so proud. When you talk about Kalijah Cansey, when you talk about like literally Kalijah Cansey and Yaya led this team. Like they led this team. Like I would see before, I would see pictures of they would show Warren Sapp and Derek Brooks and stuff like that, and they'll be like, "Oh, this is the new Warren Sapp," and I'm like, pump your brakes, pump your brakes. And I'm still saying pump your brakes. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely still saying pump your brakes. But yesterday was the first time that it looked like, yes, they are leading. They are leading this defense. Like this defense is going through them. Just like when JPP and Shaq Barrett and Ndamukong Suh and Vita Vea was here, that defense went through them. It went through them and then through Levante being the brain, but JPP and Shaq Barrett and Vita and Sue, they were the muscle. Levante was the brain. You know what I'm saying? And for the first time, it felt like these youngsters took control of this defense. And I'm talking about Kalijah. I'm talking about Yaya. I'm talking about Logan Hall. They took control of this game. Like we led, this defense was led by these guys, and I was so freaking proud. I was so freaking proud, and that. But it looked like Joe Tryon. It looked like he accepted his role, and he was able to, because he was flashing, right? He was flashing here and there. To Joe Tryon. We still saw plays where he got stumped, but it's like at least it felt like we knew who our guys were, and it felt like everybody really knew what their role was. Like it was just it had to have been my favorite thing of the whole game. My favorite thing of the whole game was not our offense. It wasn't the run game. It was the D line. It was my favorite part of the whole game because it showed me that this whole new transition that we're having, when you talk about, it's a new era, because Levante's on his way out, Shaq's on his way out. We're going to have a new era of Buccaneers defense in Buccaneers football. And it just showed me like we might be okay. We might be okay. We might really be in a new era of Buccaneers football with these youngsters, and we might just be okay. And it was just so beautiful. It was so beautiful to watch. Kalijah dominated. This was Kalijah's coming out party. This was it. This was what I wanted to see. Like, again, a lot of people have been like drooling over Kalijah because he'll have a play here and there. And in the back of my mind, obviously, I'm not going to say nothing negative because I would never, bring down my player. I'm not going to say nothing negative. Let them go on a roll. They're doing okay. Let them continue to do okay. Just like when Baker was on that roll, I didn't say nothing about Baker. Let him do his thing. Let him, continue to go. But I'm like, yeah, he's making plays here and there. Kalijah's doing his thing. He's making plays here and there, and he's having splashes, But throughout the game, there'd be times where it's like, okay, where was he? So I wasn't really saying much. But this was a game where it was like, that it was all Kalijah all day. All Kalijah all day. And this was like Vita Vea's 49ers game. I don't know if you guys remember that. Vita Vea, when he was a rookie, we had Vita Vea, and Vita Vea would make, some plays here and there. But it was kind of like not enough. We felt like, well, that's not, we thought it would make more of a impact in games. And then we played the 49ers. It was like, I think there was like 3 games left in the season, or like 4 or 5 games left in the season. And then we played the 49ers, and it was like, okay, that's the breakout game. That was the Vita Vea we thought we might get. Like, it showed us like, this is what he could be. This is what he could be for his career. I don't know if you guys remember that game, but this is that game for Kalijah. I'm hoping that it is, because this was that game where it was like, yeah, he was a problem all game. He was a problem the whole game. And it was just nice to see that. And then again, Yaya just being that other guy too, like being a problem off of the edge. It was just such a great thing, man. Such a great thing to see. I want to talk about, and once again, I'm gonna keep bringing this up because I want people to jump in here. If you want to jump in here, just click on the link. It should be in the comment section. If you don't see it, let me know. Comment, tell me you don't see it. I'll send it to you. But this other part I want to talk about is the difference between KJ Britt and Devin White. This is something we got to talk about. This is something that we're going to have to deal with in the off season. I know how special Devin White can be. We've seen as soon as he got healed, he came out and was just, interception, I believe 2 sacks and a fumble. One of the sacks didn't count because they said it was roughing the passer, so it negated the sack, which was BS. You saw what Devin White, the difference maker that Devin White can be. But then the next game, it was back to, well, okay, like he's just there. Again, KJ Britt does not make any type of plays where you're like, yeah, nobody else in the league can make that play. KJ Britt doesn't do anything on film where you say, wow, at all. But KJ Britt consistently pops up on the screen because he was where he needed to be, and he made a play. And the best way that I can describe how I feel about it right now is Dallas fans talking about Dak Prescott. Or you know what, better yet, Dolphin fans talking about Tua. Right? They know Tua's not the guy. But some people are saying, okay, so if Tua's not the guy, then who can we come in here to replace him? Nobody can come in here and do the. No one that's available can come in here and produce like Tua's producing, which is true. But in reality, we don't need someone to come in there and throw for however many yards a game, especially when they're playing against a bad team, or come in there and give Tyreek all the yards in the world again, especially when they're playing against a bad team. What you need is someone that's maybe Tyreek ends up barely with 1,000 yards, Waddle barely with 500 or 600 yards, but also your running back got some yards throwing no check down. The other receivers got some yards. So we might not have a quarterback that can produce as many yards as Tua, especially when playing against a bad team, but have someone that the ceiling might be lower, but the spectrum is wider. In other words, they might not be able to just throw to Tyreek, but they can also throw over here, throw over there, and so they're not a one-trick pony. So even though KJ Britt can't make that play that only Devin White can make, but he's making the plays that any linebacker that is doing their job can make. And I think that's more important. Having a linebacker that will consistently, day in, day out, snap after snap, snap after snap, do their job correctly and know exactly what they're supposed to do can be more impactful for a team than a linebacker that can do things that nobody else in the league can do, but so often doesn't do the things that anybody else can do, and not be in the right position sometimes, and not know what they're supposed to be doing sometimes. And I hate to say that because I feel, I think Devin gets a lot of bashing, and I don't like it, to be honest. I don't like it. So I hate when I have to say things like this because I feel like I'm starting to pour on and be one of those people, and I'm not. I'm not trying to be another person that's trying to pour on Devin and bash Devin or anything like that because I think Devin's great. I think he has the talent to be the best middle linebacker in the league and planet. But again, when you put KJ Britt in there, it just feels like, yeah, he's not doing any wow plays, but you're constantly seeing him doing the right play. You're constantly seeing him be where he needs to be. There's a different feel of comfort. There's a feel of just like we're okay. We don't got to worry about him being out of place. I don't know how else to explain it, and I think that's something that, as much as I said it before, when Devin was absent, I said I feel comfortable with moving on, and then Devin came back and had the game he had, and I said I was so stupid for thinking that we shouldn't sign Devin because he's such a difference maker. But then again, after he came back, it was like the very next game and the next game after that, it was kind of like, okay, he went back to, sometimes being like, well, where is he? And then getting a good dose of Brit again just felt so, I don't know the word, but it felt so reliable, I guess is the best I can think of. Felt so reliable. We got OG in the building. What's up, OG?
What up, RTP? Just wanted to join in and say some words, kind of my ass out of the game. Man, it feels so good to win this game. Just grateful for the team to have a great performance, offensively, defensively, especially defensively. Man, we played such a great defensive game. and stood our
Yeah.
ground. Um, I went to the game, and I want to say, man, the fans were so loud, bro. We brought that energy to the game, and I really
Yeah.
feel that
Shout
way.
out to the fans.
Yeah, man, I was there. Almost lost my voice. Basically, lost my voice throughout the game, but I felt that energy. We felt the fans who really wanted this win, and the good thing is that the Eagles fans weren't as loud as I felt like last time. So, but I also wanted to say that we really needed this win, especially with all the comments saying how we beat the Panthers 9-0, entering the playoffs, with no momentum, coming to the playoffs and scoring 32 points. It's a great way to start the playoff run, especially going into the Lions. So that's great, and I also want to thank the big man in the sky that there's no injuries, man, and hopefully it stays that way, because
Yeah.
I always saw throughout the game, even like the Eagles, they had some injuries, and we had none, so that's good to hear, good to see.
I
Um,
see. NY saying, "Why do I sound so sad?" I'm super hyped right now, but if I scream, it messes up my microphone. So I'm trying to like whisper, and it sounds like I'm sad, but I'm not. I'm just trying to keep my voice down. Go ahead, OG.
oh yeah, also, is it just me or did we use a lot of play action throughout the game? I don't know. Uh, I
Yeah,
don't
we
know.
did.
Did you notice that too? And it felt like it really worked.
Yeah,
So I don't know.
and the thing that Dave Canellis once again was in his bag, and I feel like that the game plan that we had, and I don't mean like the plays, and I don't mean the like where we attacked the defense or where we attacked on the field. I mean like the percentage of run to pass, the way we mixed it up, the way we put in the play action. That's how we need to call our offense all the time. Like we not that run team. We not if there's a game where they can't stop the run, okay, then if we figure that out, then go ahead and keep running it on them until they stop it. But for the most part, that's how our offense needs to be ran with that amount of passing and that amount of running and being able to put that amount of screens, that amount of play actions. That was a perfectly put together offensive plan for us, and we need to be able to call that amount of pass to run ratio every day, every week. If we could keep it like that, I think our offense will stay good.
Yeah, and it definitely helped that we were able to run too. I remember because watching the game, there's the first few runs, but there were gains of 7 yards, 8 yards, 4 yards. So we had a really solid a run attack. At least I remember in the first half. I saw at the end the stats. We averaged 4 yards a carry, which is still good, but that definitely helped us in the beginning of the game and throughout the game. Um,
Yeah, we did good offensively. Baker did pretty good. I was I won't say surprised because it wasn't like the Lombardi when Baker the way Baker played in Green Bay, that was a surprise. That was like, okay, I didn't see that coming. This was again, like I said, he played like he did in the Saints game, which I think is doable for Baker. That's like that's been his ceiling for most of the time as far as him playing good, and so I wasn't necessarily surprised, but I'm not going to act like I thought he would play good, but he did.
yeah, and also like Kate Otten as well, man. I don't know if they were focusing too much on Mike Evans, but he was getting wide open, and he had that one drop, but all the catches he got definitely helped continue those
So
drives.
what I was hearing, I haven't watched the tape to confirm, but what I was hearing was they were basically doubling Mike and doubling Chris Godwin. So they basically took those two away, which would explain why he was going to K Dot so much and like the third wide receiver, which is huge in my opinion is huge because finally Baker felt comfortable throwing to somebody else besides, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, which, yes, okay, we've seen him throw to Kate Otten a couple of times, but usually it's that seam route. But he was throwing to him with all kind of other routes. And again, we got um, Trey Palmer involved. We got David Moore involved. So it felt good to see Baker actually go other places with the ball. Like if he can do that against the Lions, we got a good chance. We got a really good chance.
Yeah, and that makes sense because again, some of the other passes they were like basically wide open, and it's like,
Yes.
and I didn't see that much Mike Evans. He has a few catches, but those drops also hurt. But he definitely did something. We can't deny his impact on our offense with this
And
team, especially.
when you show teams like the Lions, when you show them you can try to take those two away, but we have other guys that'll still hurt you. That makes it harder. Now they have to let go of Mike sometimes. Now they have to leave Chris Godwin alone sometimes because they know, okay, we can try to do that, but Baker can't kill us with K. Dot. He can kill us by just checking it down with Rashad White. He can kill us if we leave Trey Palmer one on one and he breaks away. Like we got dangerous weapons. This is why I'm so hard on Baker because I know how dangerous the offense is or can be because we got weapons, bro. We got weapons.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the two Moore and Palmer, they're just shifty, man. Just give them the ball, give them a chance, give them some blocks. The blocks were amazing. It's just all we need. Also wanted to say a shout out to McLaughlin, man, hitting those field goals again, continuing his streak. But after we let go Ryan Stuck about was
All
worried,
year.
but yeah, all year, man, we can't
Yes,
complain, and he's continuing on, and it's great to see us have another kicker, and I know
yes,
he was consistent all year, but in the playoffs now where it matters the most, and he's still doing it. It's great to see. And Camarda, man, those I know he had
yep,
at least two punts where they were in the 9 and 10 yard line, which is great to see, man. It's that
yeah,
because one of the ones, I think the one that he punted to the 10 yard line, it's the same drive that we got the safety. So without that, without our special teams, we wouldn't be able to get that safety, man. Put him in their zone and in their end zone and keeping them there, which helped us, end the drives for the Eagles. So shout out to
yeah.
them.
Special special teams, big time. I mean, this was this was literally by far our best all around team win. I mean, we had a team win against the Packers and everything, but this was like everybody put their stamp on it. This was another great team win. And I have to go back to Coach Bowles as far as giving him credit, and I was saving him for last because there's so much that people don't understand that Coach Bowles did. Um, it First off, a lot of people. I don't know if you guys, if you can mute your mic, OG, we're a little loud, windy. Um, if you guys watched the ESPN or whatever, all these talk shows, a lot of people are talking about um, that the Eagles offensively they didn't have an answer to Todd Bowles' blitz. How did you not know Todd Bowles was going to blitz? And I think people don't understand what happened. And I'm gonna tell you guys exactly what happened because I explained this uh, yesterday morning when I went live and what I was worried about. I explained how when they ran the ball on us, they spread us out. They were spreading us out, and they would and I told everybody that the problem with that was two things. When we blitzed, you could see the blitz all the way from the other side because we'd have to come from a longer way because either the safety had to be like all the way, by the wide receiver, or the nickel had to be all the way by the wide receiver, and they're so spread out that when we blitz, it takes longer to get there. And of having everybody piled up at the line, and now you don't know who's coming because everybody's piled up at the line. So that's what I was worried about, was them spreading us out, because that's what they did to basically neutralize us, and it worked. What happened in this game was Todd Bowles said, "I don't care if you try to spread us out. We're not going to spread out." And instead, I'm what I'm guessing is their whole game plan evolved around thinking that we were going to be dictated by the formation they showed us, like the first game, because that's what happened. They would show us a formation, and we would be, our defensive formation would be dictated by it, and we would end up going nickel or spread out or whatever it is that they would do. We would match up with them, and then now our defense is spread out. But this game, Todd Bowles was like, "We're not going to let you dictate it. Whatever you do, I'm going to keep my base form, and I'm going to keep extra linemen in, or I'm going to keep extra linebackers in, and no matter what, we're going to have more people on the line. No matter if you try to spread us out, we're still going to stay there." And that was the difference. And that is why people think that, "Oh, you weren't expecting Todd Bowles to blitz? Like, how stupid are you?" No, they were expecting us to blitz, but they were expecting us to blitz spread out. And Todd Bowles was like, "Nope, we're not doing that this time." And that was the difference. That's why we dominated. That's why they weren't prepared for what we did defensively. At one time, we had six defensive linemen on the field and three DBs. Winfield, Jamel, and Carlton. Six defensive linemen on the field and only three DBs. One time we had Winfield, Jamel Dean, Carlton, and Zion playing the other safety role. Todd Bowles talked about how he had Zion on the field as a safety because he was going to put him on an island because he knew he was going to blitz. The whole game plan was, "I'm sending them. I'm sending extra. I'm sending them." And he wanted to put, and he put Carlton, he put Jamel, he put Winfield, and he put Zion. They were all on islands. Sometimes all at the same time, sometimes all at different times. But they all had big responsibilities. And think about that. Todd Bowles is putting that type of responsibility on Zion McCollum, and he answered the call. Like, people do not give Todd Bowles the credit for being the mastermind of defensive, like, genius that what he does. And I said it when we were live yesterday. I was watching the Peyton Manning and Eli commentary show, instead of watching the regular commentary. And you just hear Peyton just like talk about why Todd Bowles is like his defense is crazy, and you would usually hear Peyton Manning go, "Oh, watch out for this, watch out for that." But lots of times you would hear Peyton Manning say, "I have no idea what he's doing right here. Like, I don't know. This is why Todd Bowles' defense is scary. You have no idea who he's sending right now." He would say that for normal defenses, you can look at somebody and say, "Okay, well, I know for a fact that he's not going to send them because that would be crazy to send him. Homeboy would be wide open." And Todd Bowles don't care. He'll send them. So even if you had a Tom Brady, if you had a Peyton Manning at quarterback, you literally have no idea who Todd Bowles is sending because he is crazy. He will send anybody. He will drop back anybody. He dropped back Vita Vea. There was one formation where he had Vita Vea. Who was the other one? No, it was Kalijah Kancey and was it Yaya Diaby? It was Kalijah Kancey and I think Yaya or it might have been Anthony Nelson. It was an outside linebacker in the middle linebacker in the inside linebacker position, standing up. There was another play where he had Vita Vea drop back into coverage. Like, you have no idea what Todd Bowles is going to do with his defense, and I love it. It is the most creative defense in the NFL, period. It is the most scariest defense when things are clicking, and the D-line and the linebackers understand how to rush together and how to take each other's blocks on and stuff like that. Like, when Yaya Diaby and Todd Bowles tells you, like, yeah, he's learning, he's getting better at understanding the defense, people are like, well, he's a, defensive lineman. How much does he have to learn? Pass rush over here, pass rush over there. No, there's way more to it. pass rush this gap, hit this gap, take away this block. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so much to it, and there's there's a uh, there's a reason for the madness. Like everything has a reason. So when these rookies that are so talented, bro, so fast, so athletic, when they started understanding exactly what Todd Bowles wants them to do on the D line, the blitzes got better, the pass rush got better, and that's what we saw. That's what we saw. A masterpiece by Todd Bowles. And
Yeah,
they think that 9 points was just, oh, the Eagles was laying down. No, we laid them down.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, and when you're referencing, I remember that the Yaya Diaby play where I think they dropped them back. It was a flag, but it was just showing, showing them we'll do the unexpected, so you better watch out. I think that play. I think he got a flag on it, but this is a great defensive play call. Also, you think that's the reason why Keanu Neal didn't play as much? I don't know if you're the one that said that or someone else, but
Yeah,
they put Zion in because their defensive, I guess, scheme or what they were gonna run today was gonna be
yeah.
really man on man.
He
Guard your man.
said, Todd Bowles said that he wanted the best cover guys on the field. And he said that he's already explained before how Zion's played so well that he needs him on the field. He wants him on the field. Like, and again, you play well, Todd Bowles is gonna put you on the field. I mean, that's why KJ Britt's on the field. Devin's healthy, but Todd Bowles is just like he's making plays, he's doing his job, and he's doing it very well. I'm gonna put KJ Britt on the field. I gotta find a way to put him on the field. And he was saying the same thing with Zion McCollum, and it wasn't just that, but the fact that he said with the game plan he was going to put a lot of people on islands. So he needed the best cover guys on the field, and Zion's one of the best we got covering guys. And I said it. I told you that guy has the highest ceiling out of every corner we got, more than Carlton and Jamel. He can be the best corner that we have. Like, dude is so talented, man. And he's smart. So yeah, that's why Zion was getting a lot of reps over Neal, because they were using him a lot as the other safety.
Yeah, and shout out to Carlton as well and Dean, man. Their tackling was, Dean's he was holding the guy and he tackled him. They played really good, both of them. And again, our main man, Levante David. Wow, what a game!
Man,
His tackle for losses in the Eagles, like in the 10-yard line, where I think it was like a run or a receiver run, and he tackled him. Man, what a play by David. He's still that dude, man. That's one of the reasons I wanted to go to the game, because I didn't want to miss out on this last game just in case. But hopefully, he stays another year. He's still that man and still slept on.
yeah. I would love if he just gave us one more year. And I keep saying that every year, but it's just so hard to see this defense without Levante, man. Like him and Mike is like, I just can't see this team without them, man. It's gonna hurt when they go. It's gonna hurt when they go, and hopefully we don't have to deal with that anytime soon. But who knows? Who knows?
We just
But
gotta
I
make
hope
it to the
not.
playoffs and
Yeah,
make it
we
come
just
back.
gotta keep being relevant. Keep being relevant. You know. And like I said, man, like this team it just felt so good to see these young people, like our young defense, grow up. Like they're ready. You know, they're ready. They're ready, and it feels good to see that from them. And like I said, the crazy part is we still can get better. Like in the off season, like we still can get better, like way better. Like we still got room for some playmakers. We got another outside linebacker that we need to get. Maybe another defensive tackle, another safety. We still got to get that spot. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe another linebacker. Like we still got room for more superstars. Um, like as far as like finding them in the draft. I don't know how the cap situation is going to be. I know we'll be better, but yeah, it's just we're in such the Bucs are in such a good place. You know, we're doing this. And again, people forget we're doing this on a year that we're supposed to be throwing away. We're supposed to be throwing this year away. It's a throwaway year. And I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I mean, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I think we could beat the Lions, and I I kind of think we're gonna beat the Lions. I'm not gonna lie. I think we're gonna beat the Lions. We match up with them very well. Um, Baker pretty much gave them the game the first time. Like I don't I feel like it's more likely we beat the Lions. Listen, I'll tell you right now, if Baker is able to throw to other people besides Mike Evans and Chris Godwin again, I think we beat the Lions. They're not going to run on us. Their pass rush was neutralized by our O line. We weren't able to run the ball yet against them. You know, we were once again running wild in their secondary and on their defense as far as the weapons, the wide receivers. I honestly don't think the Lions can beat us. I don't. I don't want to sound cocky, and it's not off of this game. I didn't think we would get to the Lions. I was more worried about the Eagles than the Lions, to be honest with you. We already matched up with them before we became the team we are now. We already matched up with them good. Now we're gonna play them like I I think we play the villain, man. I think we play the villain because it's a good story. It's a good feel good story for the Lions. Like, and not only that, you know what else? A lot of emotions. They had a lot of emotions off of that game. And if you've watched the NFL long enough, you understand when you have an emotional game, that next game you kind of come out flat. And they had a very emotional game against the Rams, going against Stafford, their first playoff win in forever, no longer being, the Lions of the past and having the longest playoff drought. It was a very emotional game for them. They could come out very flat. And I see not only that, I see them being like, I don't know if you guys remember back in the days before the Warriors were the Warriors, but they had that season where it was like surprising, like, man, the Warriors are pretty good. And they went into the playoffs and won a playoff game, I mean, a playoff round. And then the next one they lost. And then it was like, everybody was still proud of them. They had a standing ovation and they were just proud that, finally the Warriors did something. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with the Lions. Like they won a playoff game. They're going to fight against us, but they're going to lose, and everyone's going to applaud and give them a standing ovation and be like, "Well, at least we know we're here now. At least we know we're not the same old Lions." And we didn't do it this year, but hey, maybe next year, and we'll be here waiting for you guys, and that's cool. We'll be the bad guys, So I really like. I have this vision of Tony Montana when he's say hello to the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? Like I just that's gonna be us, and I really think I really think we're gonna beat the Lions. Do I know we can beat the Lions. That's the thing. I know we can beat the Lions. It's just again just like the Eagles game. The Eagles game, I didn't know if we could beat the Eagles. I just know it's possible, but I don't know if we can beat the Eagles. Plus, I don't know if Baker's going to show up. The Lions game, I know we can beat the Lions. I just don't know if Baker can show up again. So if Baker shows up again, I think we beat the Lions. I'm pretty confident in it. So to go to the, if that's true, to go to the NFC Championship right after we let go of Brady, 80 million in dead cap money, season where we picked up a quarterback that nobody wanted, like it's supposed to be a throwaway year, and we go to the NFC Championship. Like, come on, bro. It's
I mean, shout out to Jason Light, man, doing it again with a rookie, and that's what makes it possible. Drafting these players, these young players, and then performing. Right now, Yaya and Kansas, they both shut up as their first rookie year, but like having the depth with Joe Tryon and Logan Hall, it all adds up,
And
especially with
and
this
peop-
year.
yeah, and people gotta understand is since Bruce Arians has came into the building with his coaching staff, his worst year of drafting was the COVID year. So it's like, okay, he had a bad year, but I mean, how good of scouting could you do when there was COVID that year? You know what I'm saying? So I people be sleeping on Jason Light's picks.
And especially where it's not these early picks anymore. I mean, even last year it wasn't,
Right.
these picks weren't as early as what they used to be. In the last like 5 to 10 years, we used to get these first round picks and top 10 picks. It's not the same. But we're still
Yep.
drafting players that are making a difference on the team and for the future.
Once again, if anybody else wants to jump in here, we're just in here chatting. You could jump in, join, give your opinion, your rant, your hype, whatever you want to do, shout out, whatever. There's a link in the comment section, whether you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube. If you don't see it, it should be blue. If you don't see it, just comment. Let me know you don't see it, and I'll send it to you if you want to jump in here and chop it up with us. The Buccaneers Roundtable, we just all talking. I see Jay. I see Rashad says, I got orders back to back, or I'd join. All right. Let me read some of these comments. Uh, Tony says, Ricky's played well. Professor X says, we're healthy and running was good enough to keep them wondering what's up, Skull fam. My butt fell asleep, so it was nice waking up to a W. Bucks for life. On to the next round. I think we owners. I'm driving, so it's hard for me to read. I think the owners knew all these coaches were going to hit the market. That's why. Hold on, let me switch lanes. That's why I think Bowles got so much heat, so they can be like, well, look at the options. And here's the thing. I don't think Bowles had as much heat as people believe. We'll never know. But again, I keep saying Jason Light said we had a plan. I don't think Jason Light would have looked at Bowles and been like, oh, we didn't win the division. Okay, that's on you. We're going to go with it. I don't think Jason Light looked at it like that. I thought Jason Light looked at it like, well, let's see what we can do. We know we don't, we know we're 80 in the salary, in the dead cap. And like, Jason knows the situation we were in, It's not like Jason was like, oh, I'm going to get you more pieces. No, Jason was like, no, we're not getting no more pieces. We're going to get rid of these contracts, and then we'll try it again next year. Like, he knew what this season was about. So I don't think Todd Bowles was in the hot seat as much as people think. Now, again, I could be wrong, but I think it was narrative driven. I think it was more driven by the beat writers than anything. I don't think the Glaziers or Jason Light, I think they knew what this year could be, possibly as far as how bad it could possibly be, and wasn't expecting much. And I think it would have been a freebie year for both. That's what I honestly thought from the beginning. But again, beat writers say that they hear rumors or inside source, and they could be lying. Who knows? I just don't think he was on the hot seat as much as people think. But again, we will never know. J. Dot says, I like how Bulls used the white situational last night. Yes. He said, we seen Trey Palmer coming on the last two games of regular season versus Saints and Panthers. Yes. Did you guys see the speed on that boy? Like, God, the way he ran away from everybody, like, ridiculous. That guy, we have to get him the ball more in space and just let him go, man. That guy is a problem. He is a problem. I told everybody, like, there's a reason why we keep putting him on the field, even though he's dropped passes and stuff. We see him consistently beating cover two. The only guy I really see beating cover two is Tyreek Hill. He's the only guy that I see you could be in cover two and he'll still beat it. Trey Palmer can beat cover twos. He beats the guy and the safety. Like, the dude got speed, man. The dude got speed. His burners were insane yesterday. I just can't wait to see more of him, man. And if we are going to make a playoff push, like a real heavy playoff push, like get to the NFC Championship, like we're going to need all of them. We're going to need everybody, man. And I would love that. And it's so real. It's so real. The reality of us going to the NFC Championship is so real. We just got to beat the Lions, and I think we're better than the Lions. They have a better quarterback, but we have better everything else. Everything else we have better. You can't convince me any other, like anything else. Like, they might have a better single pass rusher in Hutchinson, but we by far have a better unit, by far. And we shut down Hutchinson last time we played him. He didn't do anything. Luke Gedicke shut him down. He didn't even try Tristan. Luke Gedicke shut him down. Like, this Lions game, which I love because everyone thinks, okay, you played the Eagles, yeah, let's act like we believe in you, but we really don't. We know you're going to lose against the Lions. And I love it. In fact, I know every Bucs fan was pissed off when they saw right before the game all the commentators picked the Bucs to win. I know every Bucs fan was pissed. They were like, man, why? Here we go. Everybody picked the Bucs to win. That means we're going to lose. It went through all of our minds. I know every Bucs fan thought that. As soon as they saw Bucs. Like, oh, crap. No one picked the Eagles to win that game. I was pissed. But the Lions game, I don't think anybody sees us beating the Lions. They look at the Lions as a Cinderella story. Not even a Cinderella story. Just we're finally here type of story, which they deserve it. Don't get me wrong. But again, we're going to play the bad guy. It's a bad matchup for them. I think we're better matching up in everything. We're more talented, more experienced everywhere, even including and especially in coaching. I think we win this. I think we win this game. If Baker can show up, I think we win this game. And I don't think it's kick the field goal, they won it. I think it's victory formation. Like, I think we win with a victory formation. I really do. And we'll be the bad guy. And they drained all their emotions and all their energy. And I'm telling you, I think that's huge. A lot of fans don't think about that, but it's really huge. When you play a game like they just played against the Rams, you barely won the game. You're so proud of yourself. You have all this energy of, we're not the same Lions no more. We did it. It's basically your Super Bowl. When you give all that energy like that, crying, the GM, the coach, the crying and stuff, you're going to come into the next game like we gave all we got in the other game, and they're going to come out flat. I truly believe it. I could be wrong, but we've seen it happen a lot of times. I don't know. Big Al in the building. Yo, what's up, RTP? Peter Red, so I'm cold and dead. You already know what it is. Trey Palmer down near brought us back in the Saints game. If he didn't fumble, yeah. But it happens. Remember, the Saints did the exact same thing to us with Chris Olave. Remember Chris Olave's rookie year? He did the exact same thing to us. Jameis finally got connected to Chris Olave down the field, and he caught it, and then he stumbled and fumbled the ball, and Carlton Davis picked it up, and that was it. Game over. It happens. It happens.
All right, TP, I'm going to head out, man. I'm going to do my thing. Bet.
All right. Be safe out there, man.
Yes, sir. What a game. Go Bucks.
Yes, sir. Go Bucks. What a freaking game. What a freaking game. Yeah, this team, man, is this coaching staff is just. I love being the underdog, bad guy. It makes the victory so much greater. Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yep, for sure. But this team, and again, I don't think people understand. I know people don't understand. Even today on Twitter, I was seeing a lot of tweets about, um, I guess, Buccaneer fans believing that we have a winning culture now or a winning feel, and them giving the credit to Tom Brady. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, the winning culture started when Bruce Arians got here. That's when changes were made. That's when the culture was installed. Again, look at Brady. And Brady, again, Brady did his part for the Super Bowl. I will never take that away. But when you talk about winning culture is doing the right things, knowing how to win ball games. We already learned that before Brady got here. The defense figured it out before Brady got here. The offense was already understood the offense before Brady got here. Brady was just able to come in here and just roll with everybody because he already knew how to win himself. But if you look at the last year that Brady had was with the Patriots, he didn't look like what he looked like when he started with the Bucs. And his last year with the Bucs, that team did not look like a team who had a winning culture. They were fighting for their lives. That team looked like they were fighting for their lives. And that was because Brady was bringing them down. But because Bruce Arians had installed that culture, Brady couldn't tear it down. Let me say that again. Because Bruce Arians is the one that built that culture. And because Todd Bowles was raised on that culture, Tom Brady, when he played bad, wasn't able to tear it down. Because if Tom Brady built that culture and everybody on that team believed it was Tom Brady, when Tom Brady went down, the rest of the team would have went down. Once again, there is a reason why Chris Godwin and Mike Evans and everybody had that chip on their shoulder and said they thought when Tom Brady left, everything was going to go downhill. That came out of Chris Godwin's mouth. Baker Mayfield has said it in press conferences. The team had a chip on their shoulder because they felt disrespected. They felt like, bro, it wasn't all Brady. We already had this culture already built. And again, I'm not saying this to take anything away from Tom Brady and what he did for us. But this winning culture was built by Bruce Arians. And Todd Bowles was raised in it, and he knows how to keep it. This is how, and this is why Todd Bowles is who he is. This is why people are mad at Todd Bowles at times. Because Todd Bowles is like, I'm going to be who I'm going to be. I'm not going to change anything because I'm feeling heat from the media. I'm not going to change how I coach because I'm feeling heat from the fans. That's what I did when I was with the New York Jets. I'm not going to do it here. He literally said that's the difference between him being the coach with the Jets and him being the coach with us, is that this time he's going to do it his way and he's not going to change it for nobody. He's going to win or lose his way. And the way that he knows how to do it is the way he was raised by Coach Bruce Arians. And now we're seeing the collapse of so many coaches. Brian Daboll, Nick Sirianni, Mike McDaniel, who else? All these coaches that had fast success, all these coaches that moved right away because, oh, something's not working, so we got to try something else. Instead of having a game plan, having a goal, understanding that this is a process, understanding that this is how I want to do things, and it might not be working right now, but we got to keep on because once we learn how to do it, we're going to be unstoppable. How much respect and how much discipline as a head coach did it take for Todd Bowles to look at Dave Canellis, who is losing us and costing us games, being stubborn with the run, and allowing him to continue to do things his way and say, hey, you got it. Get it done. I'm feeling heat from these news reporters, and I'm getting questions about, do I feel like I'm gonna get fired? But don't worry about it. Do you. Do it your way. Keep the process. I believe in you. I'm giving you the leash to do whatever you got to do. If you think you need to continue, then you continue with the process. That takes balls, and that takes discipline as a head coach. I told people the first sign of Robert Saleh being a bad head coach is bailing on their quarterback, Zach. I think his name is Zach, right? Bailing on him and then going to the second string quarterback and then going to the third string quarterback, then going back to Zach again, then going back to you look like you don't know what you're doing. You look like you don't trust whatever process you had. You look like you don't have a process. You guys hear me all the time. Trask, put in Trask, pull in Trask. Not once have you ever heard me say Bowles is trash because he needs to put in Trask. Because I understand he has a plan and he picked he picked Baker as his quarterback, and as a good head coach, I don't expect him to be like, you sit down, you're not playing good enough. No, that's not what good head coaches do. I got your back. You're going to get it together. And when you get it together, hopefully, when you get it together, we're going to be riding smooth. This is how we need to win. This is my plan. Let's continue with it. I also bring in the fact that that's why he's able to develop young talent, because the young talent comes out there and they get experience and they mess up and they're able to go out there and play fast and mess up because they know that Todd Bowles is not going to yank them to the side and say, you're playing bad. You're not getting on the field again. He has patience. It's huge. Professor X, your favorite troll's favorite troll, what it do?
What it do, RTP, Skull Gang fam? Can you hear me?
Oh, we hear you loud and clear, baby.
Hey, man, it's a good day to be a Bucs fan, man. What's good?
Isn't it? It's real sunny. I don't know. It's just real sunny out.
It's bright, huh? It's looking bright now, huh?
It's real bright. I need my shades right now.
Hey, man. Damn, we stopped the tush push, bro.
Facts. And technically, this is the third time we stopped it.
Yeah, you're right.
We stopped it twice in the first game, but one time they gave them the first down. They didn't get it. One time they gave them the first down, and it was BS.
But hey, man, I fell asleep, bro. I was so ecstatic. I got all my treats. I got my smokes. You know what I mean? My edibles, all that stuff. Man, I started partying before the party, dog. So you know. So I woke up about
too early.
I woke up about 2:00, man. I was like, shit. So excuse me for using foul language. I'm from the South, my brother. So
no worries.
But yeah, man, I wake up and I'm like, man, I went straight to looking for some replays and some videos to look at, man, I was like, wow, I thought they scored 3 field goals. Nah, they scored a touchdown and they went for a 2-point.
Yeah.
We stopped that with the tush push. So that's why I brought that up. But yeah, man,
Yeah,
my
watch
co-
that game, bro. If you didn't watch the whole game, go back and just watch the whole game because it was a masterpiece. It was a masterpiece.
Yeah, man, it was looking a little bit like Lombardi Baker for a minute, but I mean,
Yeah, it was close.
he did good. I mean, even if Cade Otton would have caught, that one pass, I mean, he had a good 20, 30 yards before anybody even touched him. And then
Yeah,
Mike Evans dropping the touchdown, possibly, you know what I'm saying? That's a good, I mean, he could have had 400 yards, 4
yeah.
touchdowns, you know?
Baker did better than the stats show for sure.
Yes, he did.
Baker did
Absolutely.
better than the
Absolutely.
stats show. And
But
again, you know me, I'm not a Baker hater. I don't hate nobody on
no,
my team. You do
shake and
good,
bake,
I'm gonna
baby.
give you your props. Exactly.
Yeah, you damn right.
Exactly.
That's just like, I always use the expression as like, let's say you're a Chevy guy, I'm a Toyota guy. Doesn't matter, they're both made in America. They're still, if I give credit where credit is due. You feel me? It doesn't
Exactly.
matter. That's why I was telling you, man, maybe you should go out and, do other content as in other teams, doing other NFL, you know what I'm saying? Breaking down other, not just Buccaneers, because you do a good job at it. I give you that.
Yeah. I can't because there's so much that goes into it. You know
Yeah,
what
I
I'm
figured.
saying? Like
Yeah, I figured.
I invest so much time in the Bucks to be this knowledgeable, and that sounds so cocky, but to be, you know what I'm saying, to know what I'm actually talking about with the Bucks, like I
Yeah.
have to be watching press conference, I have to be breaking down all 22, I have to be breaking down people's vibes, I have to be breaking down NFL, what people, what Sports Center and everybody's saying, like the stats and
That's why you need
the
to get you
point
a team,
spread.
brother.
Yeah, it's too much, man. I'm trying to quit with the Bucks. Like I'm trying not to be this invested with the Bucks, but they
I
keep
hear you.
calling
I
me
hear you.
back.
No, man, but like I said, I I feel really good about going into the Detroit game. It's going to be a good game. But at the end of the day, we got to look at what's at the end of the line, and that's going to be most likely the 49ers. That's going to be,
Yeah,
we could say all day that we got a good chance against the Lions and all this, but we still got to see them.
yeah.
That's the gatekeeper. You feel me? So,
I'm hoping. I'm hoping because you got to remember that there is a chance. Did you see my live stream that I did yesterday? I don't remember if
I
you was
caught
there.
I caught the end, like the little bit of it, and then because I was working yesterday,
So did
I
you
got to work
hear
today.
my third reason why I believe we could beat the Eagles? I think it was my third. The last reason why I believe we could beat the Eagles.
I didn't see that.
Okay. Oh man. So I'm gonna say it for since we got 12 people here watching, I'm gonna say it again. So the first reason I said a chance we could beat the Eagles is if we have a decent run game and our defense does its thing, right? The second reason why we could beat the Eagles is if our defense does its thing and we have Lombardi Baker.
Yeah.
The third reason why was because of destiny, or AKA it's rigged. Now the reason why I said that was because I posted a picture in the community chat, right? On the Pewter and Red podcast, the community chat, I posted a picture. It's a poster of the Super Bowl at the playoffs poster. In the playoff poster, you have every quarterback that's in the playoffs, and then the Super Bowl logo on the bottom.
Uh-huh.
Well, the Super Bowl logo on the bottom, people have been talking about how the last 3 Super Bowl logos
the color of it.
Colors.
Yeah, the
Yes.
color. Yeah, I've heard that. Yeah, and it's got
Okay,
purple or
so
something right now.
it got purple and red in it. So
Yeah.
people are assuming the Ravens,
Ravens.
and the Niners. Right. So in the
Yeah.
Super Bowl poster, it has all the quarterbacks on there and the Super Bowl logo. In the poster, Baker Mayfield and Lamar Jackson are the only quarterbacks that are in the middle of the poster, dead in the middle of the poster. Lamar Jackson is at the very bottom, and Baker Mayfield is at the very top, in the middle. Every other quarterback is a little bit to the side. Baker and Lamar are the only ones in the middle. Not only that, but Baker is at the top, Lamar Jackson is at the bottom. Not only that, but the Super Bowl logo has the purple, and the purple is in the bottom, and the red is at the top of the logo. And then I talked about how when we had the 100-year anniversary from the NFL, how when that football was bouncing on the floor and all the like Hall of Famers were like diving on the football, it was a commercial. And in that commercial, Tom Brady is sitting next to Baker Mayfield. Hey, I'm gonna start calling him that. He wins the Lions game. I'm calling him Brady Mayfield. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'm calling him Brady Mayfield. So in the commercial, he's sitting next to Baker Mayfield. Brady is, and Baker tells him, "Hey, old timer, go in, get in there." And Brady takes off all his Super Bowl rings and hands them to Baker and says, "Hold on to these." And then he goes after the ball. So people were making fun of that, like, well, that it's funny that Brady handed over the reins to the Bucs to Baker, you know. And now I'm like, so I'm just connecting all these weird dots of conspiracies. Like maybe we can make it to the Super Bowl, but yeah, the Niners is gonna be a problem. But how about this? The head coach for the Green Bay Packers is a coach that knows Kyle Shanahan because they were together in a coaching staff. Both of them know each other. It wouldn't be the wildest thing if Green Bay pulls up an upset. And if that happens, you already know what we did to Green Bay. And I have no doubt we could do it again. So we might not have to go through. I know. It's a very doubtful situation. I get it. It's very you're praying and hoping. It's more than likely not going to happen.
No, it's really not, because I mean, look what happened the last two. I mean, we were supposed to lose against Philly, and what's her name was supposed to lose against the Packers weren't supposed to win,
and Texans weren't supposed to beat the Browns.
Yeah, and then the Texans as well. Yeah, you're right. So
it's
any given Sunday, man. It's any given Sunday in the playoffs, man. You're not promised tomorrow.
And I believe we play. So what? The playoff games are Saturday. When does the Niners play?
The Niners play. I don't know. I know we play on Sunday at 3:00, I believe. Hello.
So the Niners play Saturday at 5:00 Pacific time, West Coast time. So we'll know before we play the Lions game. We'll know before we play Sunday. So we'll be watching that. That'll be a trip, bro. If that happens, I'm putting my money. I'm going to the casino if that happens.
I hear you on that, brother. But yeah, man, I definitely, even like you said, even like just the direction that we're going, to be here, to be where we're at right now. Like next year in the draft, now we got all that dead cap's gone. Now we can actually focus and get all these right pieces that we're going to, because if we had somebody else, I mean, I love Shaq, don't get me wrong, but I think it's time for Shaq to just either be in rotation or go to another team, and we draft the next successor, and man, Yaya and somebody like a Micah Parsons, or even like that Hutchins kid from the Lions, get some stud like that that's coming out of the draft, man. And oh my God, I can just see it now, brother.
And the thing is, Shaq don't want to go nowhere. I know for a fact Shaq don't want to go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? So I could definitely see him restructuring his contract or something, so we can go get us another piece, and him falling back to be like a role player or something. You know, I don't know if it will, but it wouldn't surprise me if that happened. Like, he don't want to move, he don't want to go nowhere. But the fact that we're getting rid of our dead cap, and the fact that we'll be good with contracts, we can literally not have to
nitpick in
the draft.
Exactly.
We don't have to be like, oh, we have to pick this position here because we need it. No, we can pick like, okay, the best player out of all the positions that we need, the best player is here, and we'll fill that hole with that player. And then whatever holes that we feel we still have, where we feel like we can upgrade as a starter, we can literally go on free agency and just like, come on through.
Yep. So because I feel that we have the best, because we can either right now move up in the draft or move back. Either way.
Yep. And that's the other thing. That's the other part. Thank you for reminding me. Because we don't need, a lot of people are like, oh, we need as many draft picks. No, we don't. We don't need a lot of draft picks.
Well, we got compensation ones from last year, I think, or something. So we got like an extra one or two already.
Right. So we can literally, a couple of times, which again, we're not really known to move up. We're known to move back and collect draft picks. But I can see us actually moving. Because we don't need all those draft picks. We got a lot of starters already in place that we're like, bro, we got a lot of people ready to take over the starting role, and we already got the backups because we have a lot of undrafted people that we've been grooming for years, like D. Delaney.
At the beginning of the year, I said a comment, and you said, I said something about Zion, and you're like, yeah, but I like Izzy as well, or something like that. I'm like, all right, watch, I'm telling you, the Zion, look at Zion now, boy.
I think you were talking about safety. At safety. Yeah, because I just remembered that conversation too. I didn't remember it was you that said it, but it was something about D. Delaney, and it was the backup for D. It was the backup to Neal. What was the question? Yeah. Who do you think the backup would be for Neal? And I was like, I think they like D. Delaney. and you were like, Zion. I don't know I thought it was someone else. I didn't remember it was you, but because I've been looking at a lot of old
posts and stuff,
live streams that I was doing because I'm like getting receipts. I'm taking receipts. So I've been looking at a lot of old stuff to see all the things that I said, you know. So I just ran across that. But no, I always knew Zion would be one of the guys as far as the corners.
Man, but
just like Robert Hainsey.
Like I'm saying, man, like now we don't really have to focus like, oh my God, we gotta get like, I think we need a good guard as well, or center, because since Big Red ain't coming back now, I think we need to go ahead and tighten that up as well.
Who's not coming back?
Big Red, the center we had that got hurt.
Oh but that's Big Red. I mean, Jensen, right? It is what it is. People don't like Robert Hainsey, but I'm fine with Robert Hainsey.
Not that I don't like Robert Hainsey. I think he's doing a serviceable job. But could we get better at it? Yeah.
We could. I think they'll.
But I think we should move more towards the guard position. I think Cody Mock's doing a decent guy. I'm thinking more of the left guard. So we got that.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of times where you see the run game and it'll try to go to that left side and it's not there. It's just
I think that's the first.
And I know Big Wirf's done moved over there, but still, that's his first year over at left tackle.
Yeah. Stinney is the left guard. He's definitely, I believe, is going to get upgraded, because I do believe that, you know, Stinney's great. Don't get me wrong, but we can definitely upgrade. Cody, he's not getting upgraded. I think Cody's upside is is going to be there. I think he's gonna have a big leap year two. Luke is doing great. Tristan's doing great. Robert Hainsey, again, I like Robert Hainsey. I'm not where I'm at with Robert Hainsey, where I'll be mad if we replace him. Like, I can see if they try to upgrade the center position, but I can also see if they're like, no, we like Robert Hainsey and we'll stick with Robert Hainsey. Because the thing that people don't understand is Robert Hainsey is the brains of that whole thing. He's literally the brains of the whole offense. He calls out the protection and everything. Baker doesn't do that. It's Robert Hainsey. He calls out the protection. He calls out the blitzes and everything. So Robert Hainsey is a way bigger piece than people think for the Bucs. So I don't know if they're going to upgrade Robert Hainsey, but for sure, Stinney will be upgraded. That's somewhere we will go. We will go to the draft for that.
Yeah, that's why I was more leaning towards the guard, because if you tighten up that guard position, that helps out the center, that helps out the left tackle. You know what I mean? So
yeah, for sure. For sure.
Also,
I think
just like the defense, if we get that all-star nasty edge rusher, that helps out. That we don't have to really focus on cornerbacks and safety, because that helps out with the safeties in the corner we already have. Like, we have the pieces, like you keep saying. It's just we have. Now we're figuring out Baker might, like I said, I think we agreed to give him a 1-year contract, and I was like, you know, if he keeps playing, if he takes us to the NFC Championship, if not the Super Bowl, I mean, fuck it. Go ahead and give him 2.
Right. It's gonna. I mean, I think even now he's gonna get at least a 2-year contract or a 3-year contract. So
if not from us, somewhere else will definitely give it to him.
Honestly, I still don't think other people's going to. I think it'll just be from us. I still don't. I don't see. I don't know. Maybe we did go over it.
In my head, brother, what I'm thinking the magical story of him going back to Cleveland. That, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking.
Nah, they can't do that, because they still got Deshaun.
With Deshaun, but they can still have him on.
Go back to that.
Hey, man, money talk, bullshit walks. You never know.
Yeah, I think he would rather take less money than he holds a grudge. I can tell. He ain't gonna do that.
Yeah,
but
yeah, man.
Yeah, we're sitting pretty when it comes to the draft, bro, and free agency. So again, this year couldn't have gone any. I mean, it could still get better. But the year can still get better, man. We still, like, it's not over yet. But if we lost, put it like this: if we lost to the Eagles yesterday, it still would have been would have been a successful year, because we won the division. Like, what else? We won the division. Let's go. We won the division. Now let's build our team again. So,
and I wanted to clear up about that Todd Bowles comment. I said it was basically when everybody's like, when we were going through that skid of losing, and everybody wanted his head. That's basically what I was mentioning, directing towards.
Yeah,
I don't feel that he was the reason. You know what I'm saying? It's just the growing pains. You know, we had a new offensive coordinator. We have a second-year head coach. You know what I'm saying? So it's just
I don't. I mean, well, it wasn't his second year, because he used to be a head coach for the Jets, but
for us,
the OC for sure. The OC. I mean, first of all, brand new O-line, brand new OC who's never been an OC before, a brand new offense, and a brand new quarterback. Like, there's gonna be growing pains, and there was even, and again, going back to what I said about the patience of Todd Bowles. There was in a way, unnecessary growing pains, but in a way, necessary growing pains. And what I mean by that is, there was growing pains that lasted a long time that didn't have to last a long time, because it could have been fixed by adjusting or doing something else differently and making it a quick fix. But he was so patient that he fixed it the right way by letting things play out and letting the players learn and understand and get it, rather than saying, you know what, you guys can't get it, let's try something else and fix it faster. But like I say, if it's easy for you to do it, then it's easy for the NFL to figure it out. And
Yeah.
and even Dave Canella said, yeah, my run scheme is difficult, but I'd rather continue to do that because when we get it in December, we'll be able to execute it and it'll be hard for teams to stop it. But if we just simplify it, yeah, we might be able to run the ball right now a little bit more. But when we get into the playoffs, they'll be able to stop it easy because we simplified it. You know what I'm saying? So he even said that. So yeah, I got to give Bose credit for being patient, even though his butt was supposedly on the hot seat. He said, you know what? Let's do it right. Let's learn and put in the work, and we might drop some games because of it. But if we can figure it out and get it right at the right time, we could be a problem, and that's where we're at right now.
And shout out to Cade Ott and Big Dog Cade and freaking Trey Palmer and all these newbies stepping up, man. Like, heck yes, man. I could not believe it, bro. I was like, watching the replays, I was like, oh, man, I wish I would have been able to see this live and get that, you know.
Yeah, the whole youngsters. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying all the youngsters are like learning, and that's another thing that I loved that I talked about on the live stream, which was we did go on that losing streak. So a lot of these youngsters came into the NFL and very quickly understood this is not easy. This is the NFL. You got to work to be good. And I love that they all went through that fire and they all went through that losing streak and that, that pain. And now they're getting wins. And now they're like, okay, this is how it feels to win. We got to stay, at this level. We got to stay watching tape. We got to stay. It's the only way to be winners in the NFL. You have to put in the extra work.
And before yesterday, even what Baker had at the end of the year, over 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns. Like, just imagine if we put pieces together, what he could do that. You know what I mean? On top of a gelling season where everybody's new to each other.
Like I said, all Baker stats, it's nice. Don't get me wrong; they're good stats. I get it, but it's really nothing. Because when you look at the tape, you're like, bro, there's so much more out there. There is so much more that we could be looking like. There's so much. We could be so much harder to stop. And again, that's why I'm on Baker's head like
as many overthrows from Mike Evans and stuff that he had to. I mean, he almost freaking have 5,000 at least.
And Trey Palmer and like, and that's why like yesterday was huge because we didn't beat the Eagles with Mike Evans or Chris Godwin. Oh. We beat the Eagles with K-Dot and Trey Palmer and David Moore, like, and Rachaad White. Like, that's way more what's the word I'm looking for? Impressive. That's way more impressive to me. Oh, yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I wanted to see because Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, they're going to be there. They're going to be open. The only way they're not going to be open is if you do what the Eagles did, which was put all their assets to double team Mike Evans and put all their assets to double team Chris Godwin. And if you do that, you've got to go to the other people. And if you do that, it should be easy. It should be just as easy as throwing to Mike Evans all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's a step. I'm hoping that it's another step that Baker took, but who knows with Baker. But hopefully he can take that into the Lions game, and we can still see him hitting Mike Evans, hitting Chris Godwin, hitting Trey Palmer and K-Dot, hitting Rachaad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he puts it all together, bro. Our offense is one of the best offenses in the league, period, if he can put it all together.
Oh, yeah. But, man, I'm not knocking her. I'm not being negative Nancy, but that Amon St. Brown, that dude is a buzzsaw, bro. He just be tearing through defenses, man. So he's the only real thing that I'm worried about defensively. Like,
they got
him down. They only have that tight end and a few other, but nothing we can't handle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that tight end was giving Levante all the smoke he could handle. So
Yeah,
they got some pieces, though. They got some pieces, and I remember specifically in that game too. I came away saying, golf was just dotting us up, bro. Golf was on it. He was just dotting us up. So they're not a slouch by any means. You know what I'm saying? They got pieces. So when I'm confident in that we can beat them, again, I think people underestimate just how much how good I think our team is, or how talented, I should say, our team is. And a lot of Bucs fans,
we didn't do too bad the first time against them, and we weren't nowhere near what we are now.
Right. And a lot of Bucs fans, talk about how they believed in the team, but I don't think they don't understand just how easy it should be. That's why when they talk about Baker, and it kind of pisses me off, because I'm like, you shouldn't be so impressed with what Baker's doing, because when you show me that you're so impressed with what Baker's doing, you're showing me that you didn't understand what kind of weapons you had in Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Because to me, I'm like, I think a lot of quarterbacks could do what Baker's doing, because we're that good with our weapons. So
that's why like even that famous thing when Tom Brady came, he's like, they asked him why Tampa Bay, and he's like, why not? Because we had such a good team already.
Yes.
We just needed a quarterback that ain't gonna give the touchdown. Yeah. Yep. I can't believe your old boy, famous Jameis, man. What the heck?
Hey, you know what? I still love the guy, man. I still love the guy.
Hey, he convinced me that it was okay after that interview. He convinced me. I was like, man, what an idiot. And then he's like, oh, well, they just ran the interception for a touchdown. It wouldn't have been, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, you can't hate the guy.
But the team loves him. The team loves that guy. They don't even like their coach. Yeah. So, there's a reason why Chris Godwin got on Devin White when Devin White started talking trash about Jameis. So, their team loves them. But, I again, the Lions are legit. I just think we're legit, too. I think people don't understand how legit we are. And the only way we can show how legit we are is if Baker plays his part. Baker got to play his part.
So let me ask you a question, RTP.
Yeah.
Puerto Rican to Puerto Rican, right? So if the Bucs go and say, bam, we go get all the additions we need. We get that offensive line, we get that, and basically shoring up everything that we need, right? Do you feel comfortable saying, hey, let's go ahead and give Baker a 2-year, a 3-year? Do you feel comfortable with that?
Well, I mean, I think we're going to do that either way. We're going to give him a 2 or 3-year contract, but it just depends on what Baker shows me. Baker himself, I wouldn't mind if Baker was our franchise quarterback. I want to have a franchise quarterback. I don't care who it is. It's just I just want to see it on film. If I see that you're cheating the system, if I watch you on film, and I feel like, I can scheme up a defense to stop him, I know what he's doing, then I don't want you as my quarterback. You get what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you're too inconsistent. It's just too inconsistent. So if Baker was to show me, he saw, Mike, he went through his progressions, he saw K-Dot, he looks like he's quarterbacking. He doesn't look like he's cheating the system. He doesn't look like he's like, taking a shortcut, or he doesn't look like he's just doing leaning on Mike and just throwing it to Mike. Like, he's showing me he can be a quarterback. I have no problem. Let's go. We got a quarterback. Let's make our run. I don't mind it. But until he shows me that, I can't, like again, when we saw the Green Bay game, I saw that and I said, if this was my quarterback, I'd love it. If this was Baker, I'd love it. I don't believe this is Baker, but if this was Baker, give him a 5-year contract. Let's go. Let's go win a Super Bowl. The Baker that we saw today, is it that they took away Mike Evans and he was going through his progression and just found K-Dot? Or Was the whole game plan the whole time them expecting them to take away Mike Evans and said, let's just continue to throw the K-Dot? You know what I'm saying? Was it his decision?
So with all that being said, right? Would you draft? Would you, if you were Jason Light's right hand man, right?
Yeah.
Would you say, hey, let's draft a quarterback, knowing that what we just talked about?
Knowing what we just talked about, at the minimum, yes, I would draft a quarterback.
You still draft a quarterback?
Because
we are down. Here. We are down. What? We only got Trask and who else after Trask?
Wolford.
Yeah. Okay. So what happens? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I see it.
I will say this because I guess you wasn't here yesterday, but there was another thing that I talked about in the live stream yesterday, and that was that if I was to Aaron Rodgers, to Jordan Love, and letting those quarterbacks sit behind somebody and just learn what quarterbacks are not doing or franchises are not doing that anymore. Every right in, right away. Jordan Love, sit back and develop. Aaron, sit back and develop. And they're going from quarterback to quarterback, and they look like they're doing it right. We've let Trask sit back and develop. I want to see what Trask has. And if it was between choosing a quarterback in the draft or seeing what Trask has, I want to see what Trask has. If we could do both, I'll do both. So Baker Mayfield would be my third option. Now, right now, he has a chance to maybe change my mind again if he looks. I mean, if conspiracy is ready to take us to the Super Bowl, and I like what I'm seeing on tape, maybe Baker might change my mind. But as of right now, my number one option, see what we have in Trask. Number two option, draft a quarterback. Number three option, Baker.
10-4, man.
And that's just how I feel.
Hey, my brother. I'm going to head out, man. I got to get to work here shortly, so I'm going to take a little nap. I drive at night. So,
all right. Be safe out there.
But my brother, you too, man. And it's good talking to you, man. Until next time, brother. And as always, Bucs for life, baby.
Yes, sir.
I'll holler at you, brother. Peace.
All righty. Shout out to everybody who jumped in. See Big Al says, let's see. Hold on. Behind some of these comments, Big Al was going crazy. Let's see. I love being the underdog. I read that. I think it's kind of messed up that they didn't put Trask in last couple of minutes in the fourth quarter. I mean, even Payne Durham got some burn. What if there's a reason for that, bro? What if there's a reason for that, Big Al? Like, you're saying we haven't put Trask in. It seems like they're hiding Trask, and that's a good thing. What if they are? What if they're really trying to hide Trask? What if they're hiding Trask for maybe their selfish reasons? Or what if they're hiding Trask because they don't want us to see what Trask can do, or maybe make us show up Baker or something like that? You know what I'm saying? Either way, that's good for us. That means that they believe Trask is good, and they don't want to put him out there for – it could be different reasons. But it does feel like they're trying to hide Trask, like they don't want Trask on the field. So, like, think about it. If Trask was so bad, right, and they really wanted us to be all in and on Baker, wouldn't they throw Trask out there so everybody can see, oh yeah, Trask isn't all that. That's why we should all be on the Baker train. You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't that make sense? So the only reason why it would make sense to be hiding Trask would be for their own selfish reason, whether it's they don't want to put any pressure on Baker after seeing what Trask was doing on the field, or they know what they got in Trask and they want to just sit him back and develop as much as possible before they have to put him out there because they feel like that is the future. Like that's what I think. I could be wrong, obviously, but it just does feel like they're hiding Trask, and those are the only explanations that I would think. Because if they wanted us to be on the Baker train and they wanted to reunite the whole, if they wanted to unite the whole Buck Nation onto being on the Baker train, and they felt like Trask was bad, they would have put Trask out there to be like, listen, see, he's not really all that. So let's all get on this Baker train because we're about to give him a contract. I don't know. Ravens and the Niners play Saturday. Niners play Saturday night. Ravens play the Saturday night game. Zion is an athlete. He can low-key play any DB position. Yes, he can. But I like him at outside corner. That's his best position, outside corner. I think we're going edge in the first round, and if Shaq decided to stay, he'll end up coming off the bench, which I think will be good at this point of his career. I'm not 100% sure we go edge. I can see us going edge in the first round. I can see us going quarterback in the first round. I can see us going left guard or center in the first round. I think this year, honestly, guys, I think this might be the first year where I have no idea what we're gonna do in the first round. Like what position? Like usually, I at least know. Like okay, I know we're pretty much gonna go in this position. Like we drafted a defensive tackle, right? We drafted Kalijah Kancey in the first round last year, and I'm pretty sure we were trying to get an offensive lineman in the first round. Even though I myself wanted Kalijah Kancey, I was like, man, I would love to get Kalijah Kancey in the first round. But I was pretty sure that we were going to go offensive lineman or tackle in the first round. And it was after the 4 or the 5 main offensive linemen. They're like first round worthy. Once they were off the board, I was like, well, I don't know if we go offensive lineman now, you know, hopefully we go D-line or something. And then we went and got Kalijah Kancey. So usually, even if because sometimes I even know I've been lucky to be able to guess a lot of the picks, my first round picks. But at minimum, I usually know. Like, yeah, I know for sure we're either going to go, we're probably going to go for this position in the first round. And if not, it's got to be this position. This year, I do not know. Because I don't know how Jason Light feels. I don't know how Jason Light feels about Trask. I don't know exactly how Jason Light feels about Baker. Even when we give him a contract, that doesn't mean that we know how he feels exactly by Baker. It just means that he could be, you know, giving what Baker deserves. And I can see us drafting an edge rusher, which we need an edge rusher. I'm with everybody on that. We definitely need an edge rusher, but I can also see us getting an edge rusher from free agency. You know, so I don't know. I really don't. This is the first year in a long time that I really have no idea what we're going to do in the first round. It could be quarterback. It could be edge rusher. It could be a guard. It could be a center. It could be, and I usually don't believe we're going to do it, but it could be even safety. It could be, since we're so far back, It could even be a safety that we draft in the first round. What else? It could be an inside linebacker that we draft, especially if Levante don't come back. It could be an inside linebacker that we draft in the first round. I really don't know. I think those are the only positions, to be honest with you. I think those are even. I mean, there's a very slight, very slight chance if it's the perfect tight end that it could be a tight end, because again, we're going to be back in the draft. We're going to be way back there. So I don't know. I don't think a tight end, not in the first round. Probably not a tight end. But all those other positions, yeah, it could be any of those positions, man. And I really don't know. What to do, P. Nash? Big Al says, well, you also got to look at the, am I supposed to exit here? Yes. Am I supposed to exit here? No. Yes? No, not here. Well, you also got to look at how different our defense looks from the last time we faced them, the Lions. Yeah, starting. Zion playing safety. KJ Britt come out of nowhere. And did they see Kenzie yet? I don't think Kenzie might have been playing already. But again, Kenzie, again, I truly believe yesterday was Kenzie's breakout game. I don't know if he'll have another game like that, but Kenzie has not had a game like he did yesterday. Kenzie was out of everybody on the defense. Kenzie was the biggest player on defense yesterday. Like Kenzie was on his Antoine Winfield bag. You know what I'm saying? Like Kenzie was the man. Kenzie was the defense. Like game ball goes to Kenzie. He was the man yesterday. Kenzie was a problem. He's never had a game like that. So I believe they did face Kenzie. I could be wrong, but I believe they did face Kenzie. But even if they did, it wasn't this Kenzie. So even that would be it. We're just a completely different team. We're just a completely different team than they seem. So yeah, there's a lot. There is a lot. Big difference with a lot of stuff. Play calling, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited, man. I'm excited. I'm excited for this game. And you think they're mad after us beating the Eagles? They'll be really mad. They'll be really mad if we go over there and beat the Lions. Oh, people gonna be really mad. So yeah, we'll see what happens. Anybody else want to jump in here before we go? I'll wait a little bit. Go ahead and click on that link and jump in here before we go. Any last comments? Ah, what a game, man. What a beautiful game. I'm going to watch it again. Tony Tino says he did not play week 3. Was the Lions game week 3? Why do I feel like we played the Lions after the Eagles? I thought we played the Lions after the Eagles. You're probably right. I don't remember. I thought the Lions game was like after the Eagles. Enjoy this Victory Tuesday. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I could be wrong. Yeah, I could be wrong. But either way, like I said, it doesn't matter. The Lions didn't see this Kalijah Cansey anyways. So it don't matter. Yeah. Um, what a great game. Oh, we got someone coming in. Big Al in the building.
Yo, what's up?
What up, Big Al? What it do?
Yo, what's up? You can hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I'm in my truck, you know what I'm saying? So I said I might as well just come on and talk to you guys on the phone instead of like keep writing.
Say that one more time. You kind of sound like you're in the background.
Oh no, I said I might as well come on and talk to you guys on the phone instead of like writing because I'm like driving in my truck right now.
Yeah, I still can't hear you. I hear you, but I can't make out what you're saying. You sound far. Like a little echoey kind of.
You say you can hear echo?
Like you're not by the phone or something. There you go. Not echoey, but like you're not by the phone.
Oh, damn. Probably my radio probably not picking up on it.
Yeah, say that one more time.
I said my radio probably not picking up on the mic that I got in my truck.
Oh yeah. It's hard to hear you. My fault. It's kind of hard to hear you. I heard you say you're in your truck.
Yeah, I probably wanted to come back on like another time or stuff like that. But I know I'm in my truck. My radio probably not picking up on my voice.
Yeah. Are you on your headset or you're just like the Bluetooth through your radio or something?
The Bluetooth for my radio.
Try putting it just regular like through your phone.
All right, hold on. Hello?
There you go. You sound a little better.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, way better. There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it was my mic wasn't working on my it's working, but it's that I don't know why it does that in my truck. Sometimes people hear me, sometimes people don't hear me.
Yeah. Technology.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But it was a good game yesterday. Good game yesterday, man. The defense looked very menacing. You know what I'm saying? I know the offense probably might need a little more work, little more tweaks and turns. You know what I'm saying? But overall, it was a good game. You know, I was looking at what that was. Computer report. They was talking about like like Baker played like they say he played a good game, but they say like he hesitates sometime on throwing the ball. And he hesitates sometimes when it's time for him to get out of there and run.
Yeah.
So I'm like, yeah, you can see the hesitation, like when he starts to jump around and start to look. Cause they say he's always looking at Mike Edwards. That's his first read every time.
Yeah.
And he say, as soon as he see he's not open, and he try to look somewhere else, that's where you go like they hesitate and they go to like jumping in the pocket, like, oh, whoa, shit, why I throw that now? Like,
yeah, I was watching the Peyton Manning, Eli Manning broadcast, and there will be times where, Baker's in the pocket, and he's just, he's in the pocket for a minute, and Peyton's like, all right, Baker, run, like, just run, just go, like, there's nothing, you don't see nothing, just go, like, run, and Baker's just in the pocket. It's like, bro, even Peyton's telling you, just run, you don't see nothing, run. So, he hesitates a lot, He hesitates a lot. He has to make that decision to take off with his feet a lot faster, make them pay, But I think that also has to do with seeing the field, Not to bring up Trask, but Trask, he's taller. It almost seems like he can see, like, oh, there's space. I'm gonna just take off. You know what I'm saying? Like he doesn't hesitate when he takes off. He sees space, he just goes.
Yeah, Trask can see a whole lot. Like a whole lot better than Baker because, like you say, he's taller. He can see he can see the whole damn field.
Yeah.
No.
Maybe Baker doesn't see that there's like a lot of space because of he don't see that well over the offensive lineman. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, what you call Baker. I mean, Baker coming back. I mean, I know they're gonna bring him back. I mean, he did he did well for another contract. But if they
Yeah.
draft if they draft a quarterback in the first round, I mean, you draft a quarterback in the first round, it's either he gonna start or he gonna start sometime within the season. And then what that say for Trask if we get a quarterback in the first round? That's like,
Well, if we get a quarterback in the first round, I think we know what that says about Trask. You know, I think we all know what that says about Trask. That says that you're not drafting, you're not using a first rounder to have a quarterback battle with Trask. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not doing that. You're if you use your first round to get a quarterback, then you're saying that yeah, this is probably going to be our future. Now that doesn't mean that he's going to. We can use Baker once again. They might take the Green Bay route, which I don't mind. I don't mind that at all. Take the Green Bay route and have him sit behind Baker for a year, but you know, after that, I don't want Baker in there again for another
yeah,
year
of
after
course.
that. So I would love for him to sit back under Baker, but also if I just don't see us spending a first rounder and then or signing Baker. I should say I don't see us signing Baker just to be like, you know what, our number one our franchise quarterback is ready. Go ahead and bench Baker because he's ready. You know what I'm saying? Like I see them. Sorry, I see them. If we give Baker that contract, I see us playing Baker. You know, so if we don't draft a quarterback, that's going to say a lot about Trask as well too. I believe it could possibly say a lot about Trask. It could possibly mean that they really believe in Baker as the guy. So we'll see. We'll see.
I mean, if they don't draft a quarterback, I mean, of course, if you don't draft a quarterback, that means you're looking at Trash to actually be the future, which I
Right.
wouldn't mind, you know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, this whole thing about, hey, we know what he can do. Nobody knows what this guy can do. Like, I want people to
Right.
stop saying that. Even the team don't know what he can do. When the last
Right.
time he played with the starters a full game? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The last game he played, then half of the game it was the Falcons, and that was with the second team and the third team. That wasn't with no starters.
Yeah. And it wasn't even a half. It was literally like I think 2 or 3 possessions.
So I'm like, yo,
So
nobody can say that. Oh, he's trash. Yo, you don't know what he is. You need to stop saying that. You don't know
I
nothing
mean,
about. How about you say we don't know about the guy? Just say that. Now stop saying he's trash
exactly.
because you don't know what he can do. You don't know.
And they were saying the same thing about Jordan Love.
And now look at Jordan Love. And that thing is like, if they somehow come out and beat the 49ers, that's kind of scary. And if we beat the Lions and go against them, that's kind of scary because that means that the Green Bay found something out that they can use, and now they're doing good with whatever they're decide to use what works for them.
Yeah.
So it won't be a just rollover game if Green Bay and us come at it, go at it again. It won't be a rollover game. You know what I'm saying? It's still gonna be tough. It's still it's still the playoffs.
I think it'll be just like the Eagles, just like the Lions, in where as far as me, I'll know right away. I'll know. Okay, we're like after the first 2 possessions of the Eagles game, I felt very confident. Like we're probably gonna win this game. Doesn't mean we're gonna win the game, but I feel very confident that we're gonna win this game. Like this is not gonna be a problem. We should be able to win this game. Like I'll know after the first 2 possessions. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
So with the Lions game, I feel like it's gonna be the same thing. That I'll know right away. Like okay, we should be favored in this game. We're the big dogs. They're gonna have to win this game because it's gonna be us. And if we play the Packers, I feel like the same thing. I'll know right away, like, yeah, we're gonna dominate again. Or if it's like, okay, now this is gonna be sketchy. It's gonna be a tight game. So we'll see.
Yeah, but it's been like right now it's just been a get back kind of playoffs. Like we need to get our get back on the Lions next. We got to get our get back, man. Like
I mean, literally everybody in the playoffs, we already played them.
exactly.
So that's an up for me because again, when Todd Bowles gets a chance to play your offense, and then he gets a chance to play your offense again, he usually locks you down. So
Yeah, because all the film you've been looking at film and stuff like that.
yep, yep. So we'll see. We'll see. I mean, these playoffs are really they're really made for us to go on a run. Like it really is. So we'll see how it plays out. But man, would that be something?
Yeah, we got to start them drops, man. I ain't like too many of them drops there. You got to start them drops, man. You got to
Yeah,
catch
it was
these
those.
balls, man.
You know what it felt like? It felt like the defense was like finally like some meaningful games, and they came to play, and it felt like the offense was like they didn't expect Baker to really be out there playing like that, and they kind of got caught off guard. So I don't know, man. That's just what I'm gonna say because like I agree that we gotta stop them drops. We can't be doing that in the Lions game. Everything counts in that Lions game. So it's gonna be important.
Exactly. Yeah, because the Lions supposed to be a top tier team. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, I like the underdog role. I like the bad guy role. I like taking that role. You know what I'm saying? I wrote in
Yeah.
the comments. A guy at my job asked me. He said, "Y'all back? Y'all think y'all back?" I couldn't answer it. I said, "Nah, we ain't back. We still got work to do." Meaning that we still got teams in our way to get where we belong. You know what I'm saying? So when you say
Yep.
we back, I couldn't answer it. I say, "Nah, we still got work to do, man. We still got work to do to get where we belong at, man. You know."
Yeah. Yeah. I'm just glad we're in this position. That's all I can keep saying, man. I'm just glad we're in this position because it's a great position. It's just feels good that our season's not over and other people's seasons are over already.
Yeah, man. This is man. I love it, man. Right now,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. No, I live in Miami. You know what I'm saying? I've been a Bucs fan for a long time. So yeah.
So you over there drowned by dolphin tears right now? Cause they good lord.
Yeah, I got a whole lot of them at my job, man. They sick right now. They seasick. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
God,
I
so
say, no,
so.
yeah.
I have
Y'all
been
seasick,
fighting
ain't
with
y'all?
Dolphin fans. I have literally been fighting with Dolphin fans all season. All season I've been fighting with Dolphin fans. And I know they're sick. All the crap that they talk, all the pumping their chest out. Oh my
Oh
gosh.
my goodness. Boy, I got a whole lot of them at my job.
Talking about worry about your own team. You guys suck now. Blah 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 blah. Look, we're still in the playoffs, and they're out.
Yeah, I just want to
Hilarious.
tell y'all seen that game last night. It was a good game, wasn't it? That's all I say.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man.
Feels good to still be in the playoffs, don't it?
Yeah, man, feel
They
real good. Feel real good. And
they
like I say, I know we're in the playoffs, you know, we get a little nervous, you know, but like I said, I like our chances because our defense look totally different from the last time they played us.
oh
Look
yeah,
totally different. So like they you got some things they not expecting.
yeah. All our youngsters grew up. That's what happened.
Oh yeah,
All
yeah.
our youngsters grew up.
I love our rookies, man.
Yeah, and not only that, but our youngsters grew up, and everybody figured out their role. Everybody knows their role on the defense. So
Exactly. Exactly. Like hey, like they say, they watching film, they doing all that, you know what I'm saying? From that time
yeah,
when Jamel Dean said he was watching film, you know. I don't know if he's still watching it, but last game like he'd be back to watching that film, you know.
Yeah,
But you know, I know the youngsters caught on to that. You know, watch film. You know what I'm saying? That can give you a whole lot of gems of what your opponent's going to do or what they're about. You know.
yeah. It's. I can't wait. I can't wait for this game, man. I just hope. I just hope we get a fighting chance this time. That's all. If we lose, we lose. But I just hope we have a fighting chance. I hope we have a decent play at quarterback and we have a fighting chance. That's all.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. That's the most of all. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we have a fighting chance, well, man. It's a big possibility now.
Yeah,
You give us too much of a chance, man. We take it, man. But yeah,
yeah,
man, it's gonna be a good game. You know what I'm saying? Praying to God, you know what I'm saying, that it turns out in our favor. You know.
yep, yep. And we got the experience.
Yeah,
So
yeah, 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 yeah. And I got a question. Do you think if Todd, we all know Todd Bowles, coming back. Baker may be coming back, but what about Devin White? Is he still leaving, or do you think? Because you know that Devin White is also a Todd Bowles guy, so I don't know if he gonna leave or do Todd Bowles say, "Nah, I want you to play over here." But he got gay KD Brent starting before him, so I don't know, man. I don't know about
I
Devin, man.
I'll say this. I think Devin White is going to show just how much power Todd Bowles has. Well, depending on the contract, right? Because I honestly don't believe that Jason Light is going to give him a contract that he wants.
No.
So if he comes back and he has the contract that he wants, then that means Todd Bowles has more power than we think. And I don't think he does. I don't think he does. I think Jason Light controls the roster, which I'm not mad at because he does a good job at it. I think he will bring back Devin White, but for a certain type of contract, or he might not. I can see him just saying, "Nah, we're gonna let him go."
No.
But I definitely, and I think that's more than the latter. I think more likely he doesn't come back than he does. That's what I think. I think more than likely he doesn't come back.
Because the
But
thing
there is
is,
a chance that
if he decides to go like anywhere else, they're gonna look at his tape, man. Like, dog, you're not consistent. Dog, you like it's starting to look like you're a one trick pony, man. Blitz, 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 and you gotta know how to cover too. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're gonna get the money anywhere else, so that may draw him to come back over here to the Bucs and be like, Jason, I'm gonna just take, man. Well, take what you're gonna give me, man. I mean, anywhere else, man.
but here's the thing. I think based off of his resume and his stats, I think and the need of teams needing an inside linebacker,
Yeah, yeah.
I think he can find a team that will offer him more than what Jason Light is probably going to offer him. Because Jason Light understands. First of all, we got a lot of important pieces to re-sign, so that's one.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the part that's like, okay, we can instead of paying him, we can use that money to pay other people that we really want to pay. So that's one. Number two, I think he's gonna understand what we have on the roster, and as far as we really don't need you, and I don't think that Devin is going to want to stay for the price that Jason Light will probably give him to stay. And like I said, I do believe that other teams will see his stats, see his resume, win a Super Bowl, all that stuff, see his ability, and have the need. And it won't be the contract that he wants, but it'll probably be a contract that's better than what Jason Light's going to offer him.
Uh-huh.
That's what I think, and I could be completely wrong, but that's what I think. That's what I would do. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would not that I would lowball him, but honestly, after seeing how we run without him, it's like I don't need to hurt my salary cap for you. Like I'm not going to hurt my salary cap. There's other players that I need to pay and that I have to put us in a salary cap hole. Then besides you, I can actually use your money for other things. So
Yeah,
that's what I was.
because KJ Britt out there playing like a menace, man. I mean, I ain't know you had all that in him. I'm like, golly, KJ Britt, you like that, man? I ain't know you was like that, man.
Yeah, he's just playing very consistent.
Yeah,
He's doing his
exactly.
job. He's doing his job. I mean, he made a play on the tush push. I mean, he made a play with a blitz. He made like
Uh-huh.
he was tackling the run in the run game. Like he's being consistent, bro. So
Yeah. Well, but other than that, man, I like the win, love the win, you know what I'm saying? Looking forward to the Lions game, you know what I'm saying? I'm praying, doing a lot of praying that we come out with a
yeah.
win. And yeah, I'm gonna get back to work and finish up this last little block I got over here. So
All right, I'm about to head out and unload this truck. So I'm about to end the stream. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you jumping in, man.
no problem, man.
All right, everybody,
All right.
man. Appreciate everybody jumping in. Everybody in the comment section. What a freaking great game. I'm going to watch it again when I get home just because it was such a freaking great game to watch. And I'll see you guys next time we go live. Hopefully we might have some stuff to talk about before the Lions game. If not, I'll catch you guys at the Lions game. We are out of
RGB,
here. Yeah.
RGB. One more thing,
Yeah.
RGB. Buck you.
Brought you back, bro.
All right.
All right.